And today's episode is all about changing your self-concept, how to figure out what your self-concept is and really start aligning with your best self. So your self-concept is this collection of beliefs, attitudes, and perceptions that you hold about yourself. And essentially, it's how you see yourself. And it is so important because it is the foundation that you build your life on. So your self-concept attracts aligned experiences, influences your actions, and it determines your emotional state. And having a positive self-concept is so important because not only will it be very hard to attract what you want, but once you do get it, if you don't have a positive self-concept, it's very common to self-sabotage, not feel worthy of it, and ultimately just not get the things that you want in your life or actually align with what you say that you want. One of my goals here, though, is to be more vulnerable with you all and just share the roadblocks that I have gone through and am going. After all, we are all human, and life isn't about never dealing with challenges, but how we decide to navigate and grow from these challenges. And I truly believe that every single challenge, negative feeling, all of the icky stuff is all here for us to grow and to learn. And it's exciting because when I do deal with those things, it allows me to look inward, deal with it, and be able to help you all because maybe someone else is also dealing with it. And so something that has been getting in my way personally, especially from growing further, has been my self-concept and how I view myself. And I have grown so much these past few years, but that isn't to say that I'm still not very hard on myself or not getting in my own way. And something that has been occasionally hindering me has been my self-concept and how I view myself. And so the other day, this was something that was getting in my way. And I was like, okay, how do I deal with this? How can I grow from this? And how can I change my self-concept? And so this episode is all about that. And I'm so excited to share with you all what I've learned since doing all this work and just like learning about it all. And the quote that I wanted to share with you all is, you attract what you are, not what you want. So even if you say you want all of these things in your life, even if you say you have these big dreams and goals, if you don't believe in yourself and you have these negative thoughts about yourself and you are not aligning with what you want, you cannot attract it. And so this was such a huge realization for me because it made me realize that when you change your self-concept, your whole entire life can change. And it's like the Joe Dispenza quote, your personality shapes your personal reality. And so essentially how you see yourself determines the reality that you live in. It determines the experiences that you're having. And it just makes the biggest difference once you start seeing yourself differently. So today, again, I wanted us to dig deep into self-concept, how to change your self-concept so that you can start attracting the things that you want in your life and start aligning with that, because what you think, you become. And so the first step of all of this is to find out what your self-concept is right now and how you view yourself. And so a really great way to find this out is when you hear yourself saying, I'm the type of person who, and you fill in the blank, like that is what your self-concept is. So maybe it's, I'm the type of person who gets rejected. I'm the type of person who things don't work out for. I'm the type of person who, whatever it is, fill in that blank. And this is really the time for you to ask yourself what the core beliefs that you hold about yourself are. What do you believe about yourself to be true? What do you say to you about yourself, both to you and others? So for so long, I had a core belief that I was just shy. I'm like, oh, I'm shy. I wouldn't go for things. I wouldn't put myself out there. I wouldn't speak up because I was like, oh, I'm shy. Like that's just how I am. When in reality, that was just the self-concept that I was creating for myself. And so really listen to that inner dialogue that you have about yourself. When you go somewhere new, what are your thoughts that you hear? Another really great way to find out what your self-concept is to find out what you're getting triggered about, and then you get to like learn about yourself. And so I was listening to a podcast the other day. I think it was the Robert Dial Jr. podcast, but he said that when you are triggered is when you get to learn about yourself. And so I was having a conversation with someone the other day and I just wasn't feeling my best. I wasn't as confident. And while it wasn't a great feeling while it was happening, it really reminded me to look within and ask myself, okay, what about this is not making me feel confident? Why am I not feeling confident as I'm sharing about this? Like, what is getting in my way? And it really came down to, oh wait, like this has to do with my self-concept, and that is causing me to show up in this way. And so, yes, those triggers, those icky feelings, all of it, they're not the best to deal with, but it is truly there for you to be able to understand your self-concept so that you can change it and you can grow. And I also had a session the other day with a client, and well, it's so exciting because we are manifesting so many beautiful things into her life. She's bringing all these great things into her life. It's so exciting. But since all these things are coming into her life, that new belief is coming in, or a belief that she's had this whole time of, what if I'm not worthy of all of this? Am I the type of person who deserves this? And so, yes, it's so great to manifest those things, and it's amazing and beautiful to have all those things come into your life. But if you do not believe that you are worthy of it, if you do not believe that you are the type of person who has these things, it's very common for people to self-sabotage or just not be able to enjoy all of the abundance and great things flowing into their life, which is again why it is so important for us to do this self-concept work and just learn from all these negative thoughts, the triggers, and realize that they're all just here to help us grow and understand where we need to have a shift of thinking. So once you understand, though, how you view yourself, you can begin taking notice of what needs to change. So we look at all of these things. We're like, okay, this self-concept, this way that I'm viewing myself, this needs to change. I don't like that. I don't find myself as someone who shows up in that way. And so really look in to, again, all those limiting beliefs that you have, all those things that are getting into your way. And now it's time to just cleanse that junk, throw it out into the trash and really ask ourselves, what is stopping you from attracting the things that you want or is causing you to self-sabotage? And so a really great thing to do here is to just reflect on your goals for a second. Reflect on what you desire, what you want to bring more of into your life. And then I want you to ask yourself how you view yourself right now. And there's probably a big gap between the two. Because in order to attract what we want into our life, we need to align and be the type of person who has those things in our life. And for many of us, they don't align at all. It's like a lot of us are like, oh, I want to grow on social media, but you have this belief about yourself that you're not the type of person who can grow on social media, or maybe this belief that no one has to cares what you have to say. And so that completely contradicts itself. And so much of our self-concept goes directly against what we say we want. And it is really up to you to align your self-concept with what you want to desire. And so the next part of this is really being able to bridge the gap between the two and creating a new set of beliefs that align with what you want to attract into your life. And something that has been so helpful for me is remembering that all of my desires, all of my wants, all of my dreams were all put into me for a reason. The same that all of your dreams, all of your desires, all of your wants were put into you. Me and you probably have very different desires and dreams and goals. And the same with you and probably all of your friends. Each and every one of you has a different desire and goal and dream put into you. And that in itself is a reason why you are worthy of going for it. And now it is up to you to just align with that person who has those things. And so it's up to you to reprogram your thoughts and create a new set of thoughts and beliefs that align with that. So what are the thoughts that you need to have to become that person? What are the beliefs that you have as the person who gets all of those things? And so I want you to just imagine yourself as the person who has all of those things in their life, who has all the things that you want. What are the set of the beliefs that they walk around with? What do they believe about themselves to be true? So something that I have loved doing is writing a new positive self-concept paragraph. So writing a paragraph about myself and how I want to view myself, who my best self is, how do they carry myself, how do I carry myself, who is this person, what do they attract in their life, what type of person are they? And write this paragraph and read it daily, write it down from memory, read it when you're feeling less confident, whenever you need it. And this is going to replace those negative beliefs that you're holding in your head and rewires your brain. And the more you read it, the more your brain will begin to believe it. Because again, all of those negative beliefs that you have about yourself, they're not reality. They're just things that you've constantly told yourself over and over and over again until you started to believe it. And so now it's time to replace that with those positive beliefs. Another great tool in creating this new self-concept for yourself and starting to embody it is to visualize your dream self. So how does that person walk? How do they carry themselves? How do they go about their day? Feel as though you are them. Close your eyes every morning before you go somewhere new, or anytime you need it, close your eyes and just imagine yourself stepping into this version of yourself. And really just feel it. And it is so empowering to do. And it's kind of like going through your day as if you were that person. And I've been doing this recently, and it has been such a big game changer for me, and it's been so exciting. Like, especially if you're nervous about going somewhere new or doing something for the first time, visualize how your best self would act going there. How do they carry themselves? Because your dream self, your best self, is already within you, and it is just up to you to bring them out and to tap in to that version of you. And then another practical tool that is super helpful is to challenge those limiting beliefs and the thoughts that don't align with the person that you want to be. So regardless, while we're doing all of this self-concept work and working on ourselves, limiting beliefs are still going to come up throughout our day. Maybe you're going to hear that little voice in your head. You can name it. That could be helpful. But once you hear that voice, you can have a conversation with it. You could be like, hey, listen, like, what about this isn't true? How can I reframe this? How can I challenge it? And I want you to start going about your day and recognizing more and more of those negative thoughts and negative beliefs. And then when you hear them again, challenge them and replace it with a positive thought or belief instead. The last thing that I am encouraging you to do is to take aligned action. So match your actions to the identity that you're stepping into. So if you want to be healthy and make choices a healthy person would, like prioritize nutrition, exercise, and rest. Like, what is the type of person, what is that person doing? And acting as your best self bridges the gap between who you are and who you want to be. And this shows yourself that there is proof that this is your self-concept as well. And it's like, hey, look, I'm doing these things, so I am the type of person who attracts these things into my life, and I am the type of person who has all of these things. Because creating a positive self-concept is so crucial in you not only manifesting the life of your dreams and getting all the things that you desire, but also keeping them and enjoying them. Your life is allowed to be that good, and you are worthy of allowing all of the goodness and all of the sweetness and all of the abundance to come into your life. But it is truly up to you to align with that type of person, to align with your best self in order to manifest and bring those things into your life. If you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to leave a 5-star review, as that really helps us grow the pod. Thank you so much for hanging out, and we will chat in the next episode.